Hello everybody, I'm Ajit K. Mishra, your course instructor for Essential Life Skills. I'm here again with a new session on thinking skills. This time I'm going to talk about thinking styles and thought partnership. By now, we all have discovered the power of thinking and how thinking is going to make our life, both personal and professional, very, very effective and very, very contented. Let's take a look at different thinking styles by starting with what we mean by thinking styles. Thinking styles actually exist at the intersection between cognition and personality traits. Thinking styles are preferred ways of applying our intellectual abilities and knowledge to a problem. That's what we mean by thinking. Two people may have equal levels of intelligence, but they may differ on how they focus their abilities on a task. That requires us to be good at thinking, because it is all about being able to understand, being able to comprehend, and being able to devise ways to approach a certain thing. Let's take a look at each of these thinking styles. The first one is synthesists. Synthesists are the creative type of thinkers. That means there's a creative thinking style, the synthesist style. Synthesists are largely defined by their creative and curious nature. Instead of leading with logic, they love to explore more abstract ideas. They are not concrete thinkers, they are abstract thinkers. They generally ask what if question at every stage of the exploration, and they also consider a range of views and possibilities. They're very, very open, flexible, and their approach is very wide and all-inclusive. There are people who think that synthesists are quite argumentative because they always bring up different ideas. But that's not the case. The synthesists may sound to be a little argumentative, but they need to understand that they can prevent this particular perception by first acknowledging others' ideas before presenting their own alternatives. Now, this is one problem area with the synthesists. They generally offer a lot of arguments, a lot of alternatives. But it's important for the synthesists to understand the viewpoints of others before they can present their alternatives. And that way the synthesists can take care of this particular dark area in that particular thinking style. The second thinking style is the idealist style. The idealists are the goal-setting type of thinkers. They generally believe by setting the goals. So the idealists set high standards and are always working towards larger-than-life goals. And that's the reason why they are called idealists. While others might perceive them as perfectionists, in their minds, the idealists are simply putting their best foot forward. It may appear to some others that the idealists are asking too much from life or trying too hard to achieve something big. But the idealists believe in putting their best foot forward, achieving the best. And that's the reason they always set very high standards for themselves. Idealists are basically future oriented, and they value teamwork, and they expect everyone to work very, very hard. That's the reason why they are idealists. But the idealists also have a dark spot, a dark area. So it is important that the idealists realize that others have their own standards as well, and their expectations, which might not match with the idealists' standards and expectations. The third type of thinker are the pragmatists. They are the logical type of thinkers. Pragmatists do not waste time. They just jump into action. They believe in action. They don't believe in reflecting too much or thinking about certain things too much. They promptly convert their thinking into action. They generally tackle problems logically, step by step, and they're focused on getting things done, but they are not interested in understanding the big picture like the idealists are. The idealists generally believe in seeing the big picture, which the pragmatists do not believe in, because they are very, very practical in their approach. They do not believe in things that they cannot see at present, unlike the idealists. Rather than considering what's best in the long term, they generally think short term. So that's the step-by-step approach. Step 1, complete, then go to step 2. For idealists, it is step 10, right at the beginning. But the pragmatists also have certain dark spots. While they get things done, they can benefit from taking a step back and reflecting on big ideas. If they can also reflect on big ideas with their systematic step-by-step approach, they can do very, very well. The next type of thinkers, analysts. They are the rational or intellectual type of thinkers. Analysts generally work methodically because they know the basic components of something, and that's the reason why they understand that particular thing inside out very, very well. They gather all the facts and data, measuring and categorizing all the way. They validate data, analyze data, they measure data all the way, and they can also categorize data. The personality of the analysts is rooted in being thorough, accurate, and rational. They're always looking for a formula or outline, a procedure for solving problems. So these are the thinkers who will never go and solve a problem without a procedure, without adopting a thorough and accurate approach. Like the other type of thinkers, the analysts also have a black spot, a black domain. They are the individuals who tend to discount others' ideas, the other ideas. They should open their minds as other ideas offer unique value. So it's always good for the analysts to open their minds and take the other ideas as well, because they also have value. So that's what the analysts need to do. The next type of thinkers are the realists. They are the perfect problem-solving type of thinkers. The realists are quick on their feet. They are realists. They can take stock of the reality, the situation, and they do whatever it takes to solve the problem at hand. So, realists generally don't feel challenged by everyday problems or stressors as most others do. Instead, they want to be challenged. They love challenge because that gives them the motivation, the desire to look beyond the possibilities. But the realists also have a dark spot. So, if the realists can take a step back and look at a problem from different angles, that will help them. They can also take a little more time to gather all of the information that is available to them and find the best solution, which is not always the first solution before acting. As I told you, the realists always jump into action. They cannot wait. They are very, very impatient at times. They believe in action. So it may happen that the realists will promptly jump into action by taking into account one solution that is the first solution available to them. They do not wait for the alternative solutions to be available to them so that they can weigh, they can decide which solution to take up. So that's a dark spot the realists can take care of and think of coming out of that problem. So these are some of the most important thinking styles that I just talked about, the 5 of them. That brings us to a very important aspect of thinking. This is very popularly called thought partnership. Thought partnership is the practice of sharing ideas and experiences with others to help them navigate complex challenges. But you may think, what is the difference between mentoring or advising or consulting and thought partnership? How different it is from consulting? Yes, it is different from consulting or mentoring or advising. It may appear to be similar to advice or mentorship, but the key difference between thought partnership and mentorship or consulting, advising, is that thought partnership is always mutually beneficial. In mentoring or advising, the benefit is unidirectional. The benefit goes to just one side. It doesn't go to both the sides. But in thought partnerships, the benefit is always mutual. Let's see how it is mutual. When we pair with people who think like us, we begin to resonate. We become a sounding board for each other's best ideas. So both the parties, both the sides bring their best ideas and those ideas resonate. And that happens when we find people who also think like us. That helps. We mutually benefit because we create a sounding board that resonates with the similar ideas. On the other hand, when we pair with people who think differently, we begin to complement, stretching each other's view of a situation to find and sort useful new approaches to a problem. Even then it helps because we begin to complement. When we find people who think alike, ideas begin to resonate. When we find people who think differently, ideas begin to complement each other. Either ways, it is going to be mutually beneficial, and that's the reason why thought partnership is one of the most important partnerships or type of partnerships today. Let's take a look at the key elements of thought partnership. Thought partnership is all about taking care of real-world problems and real-time conversations. It provides incredible value in collaboratively addressing real-world problems and often in real time. That's the key element of thought partnership. The next key element of thought and partnership is that it is very, very reciprocal in nature. So thought partnership is powerful in that it puts both thinkers on the same level. It doesn't create any hierarchy of thinkers. It's not that there is just one advisor and there is a listener. So thought partnership is almost always about problem solving or exploring something of mutual interest. It has less of a power dynamic than conversations strictly focused on an expert advising. So in a power dynamic where conversations are generally limited to an expert advising, no thought partnership is possible. For any thought partnership to happen, it's important that both the sides are treated at par. There is no hierarchy. So reciprocity is a key. I'll now take you to the next important element of thought partnership, the thought partner. Who is a thought partner? Can I be a thought partner, or am I a thought partner? Are you thought partners? Are we thought partners? How do we know that? We can check it in a very simple manner. A thought partner is a seamless mixture of 4 different kinds of people. That means in a thought partner, a single thought partner, we find 4 different types of people. It's a combination of 4 types of people. What are those types of people? The first type is a colleague type. Someone who is knowledgeable about business, profession or discipline of their partner. If I'm knowledgeable about the business or discipline of my partner, so I have that quality, I'm a colleague. So I can bring in this particular dimension into my thought partner role. A good companion, someone who either has been or currently traveling the same path. That means I also know a lot of things about that particular area. So I can be a thought partner. So this dimension, colleague, companion. Now we come to the third aspect, that is a trustworthy confidant. A confidant is someone with whom the partner can share insecurities and doubts. That means someone who can always lend support to the partner. So if I have that quality, that particular characteristic in me, I can be a thought partner. A fourth quality that I need to have if I have to be a thought partner is a special kind of coach. Someone who is especially adept at helping the partner consciously reflect on and talk about how their thoughts about key issues and challenges are currently organized. So there's a difference between a trainer and a coach. A coach turns out to be a facilitator. The coach doesn't loom large over the person who is being coached. So if a person has all these 4 dimensions, colleague, companion, confidant and coach, all these dimensions can be combined to create a thought partner. That brings us to the end of this session. In this session, I talked about different thinking styles and the idea of thought partnership or thought partner. I'm sure you have taken note of all these important things and you're going to explore them further, and you're going to enrich your understanding of these thinking styles and you're going to pick your thinking style or improve your thinking style, you're also going to give your role as a thought partner a serious thought. I'll meet you again with a new session. Until then, bye-bye.